Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Money Minded on Soul Sisters 10X platform. Today is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Hope all is well with everybody and Happy New Year to you. Glad to be here with you on this new year. Hope everybody had a prosperous and safe new year. All right, we're going to get right into it on tonight. So on the last Money Minded, I had talked about doing a financial challenge for the year and asked anybody who wanted to join or to try to do it for the year to set some goals, um, how much you wanted to spend. We talked about the who, what, when, where, why, and how, writing out your budget, making smart goals, making sure it was attainable, and things like that. So we're just going to continue to build onto it. As you know, I shared that my goal for this year is to save $5,000, and I bought the little book to save and put different, and money in the envelope. And again, this could be designed in any way that you want. You design it, look like, but set a goal. We're gonna try to stick to it, and we're gonna bring it up occasionally. So hopefully that will help you to be able to move forward. But tonight we're gonna talk about what that looks like a little bit, and I'm gonna incorporate scripture on tonight about it. So one thing that I sometimes that we struggle with, everything in our life is stress. Stress is a big, huge factor, and stress causes us to not think clearly at times. It causes health issues and things like that, and everybody deals with stress differently. But I know one of the things when it comes to our finances, when we stress, we sometimes do what we call impulse spending. We go out and just do a retail shopping, things that make us feel good. We go out and buy things that we don't necessarily want or need, and things like that. Also, we're talking about being financially better, more stable this year than we were last year. So we got to change things up. So I'm going to try to this year incorporate some scriptures into our financial goal setting for this year to hopefully help us in our financial state, because the Bible helps us in every aspect of our lives. No matter what we try, whatever our goals is, whatever we're trying to do, if it's a more spiritual life, closer with God, obviously we would use the word. But in our natural life, less stress, going through testing and trials, if we're going through depression, grief, anxiety, whatever the case might be. But we don't really incorporate the Bible with our finances. Most people go to Malachi 3, which is true, and sure at all. But we just want to try to build on it and embrace other scriptures into helping us with our financial need. So I wanted to explain that before I get into tonight's scripture. So tonight's scripture is coming from Luke chapter 9, verse 23. And it's actually Jesus speaking here. And he says, and he said unto them all, if any man will come come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. So, why did I pick this scripture? Where does this fit in our financial gain? Where can this fit in our us growing in our finances and being more money minded? First of all, Jesus is telling us here that we have to deny ourselves. So when I started talking earlier about sometimes we be in the impulse spending, we do stress shopping, retail therapy, things like these. These are all feelings that we're having in ourselves, amongst ourselves. They come from stress, they come from depression and whatnot. And it's very easy for us sometimes to feed into these feelings that we're having. And it's the same way with our finances. When we're feeling some type of way, it's so easy, and and it's easy to fool ourselves, and I can make the money up, or I'm upset. And it's what we do is we justify it. We justify it in our own mind that we're going to or we'll be able to make it up, or it's going to be all right, or I deserve it. And all of these things are true, And we do. You work hard. You want to be able to spend some money on yourself, buy yourself something nice, whatever the case might be. All of these things are absolutely correct. But look, Jesus said here, if we want to follow after him, we have to deny ourselves. So that means you have to deny yourselves in every aspect of your life. You have decided on this goal that you want to accomplish this year, and it's not going to be easy. Something might happen, something might come, and you may have to, take a little bit out of your savings, start all over again, whatever the case might be. That's okay, but pick yourself up. And what I love about this scripture is he says that we have to do this each and every day. So when you get up in the morning, I pray that everybody prays, thank God for waking us up, seeing another day, order our steps, whatever the case might be. But ask him ask him to help us to lead and guide us in our spending habits too, in our finances. So one thing that I'm challenging myself and my goal to do is to start a financial journal. So what does that look like for me? I purchased a notebook, financial journal on it, and each and every day if I purchase something, whatever I spend, whatever bills I pay, whatever the case might be, I'm going to write it down in that journal because I want to be able to have something to look at and reflect upon of where my spending is. Okay. And I'm going to go back and tie the scripture in it as well. So, we're thinking, of course, now everybody's excited. The holidays are over. What are we thinking about? We're thinking about everybody's looking for their W-2 forms. Oh, we can't wait to get the W-2 forms. We want to go ahead and file my income taxes, see how much of return I'm going to get, all of those type of things. So we're looking for those things. And we want to do those things with our income tax. We want to do that, right? We want to have that money. But what is your plan for that? Are you going to save it? Are you going to invest it? And we had touched on that a little bit last year as well. But we have to learn how to deny ourselves. We're looking forward to it just so we can get, our palms start to itch in our hole in our pocket, and we're looking to go and wanting to spend. But you have to learn how to deny yourself. You have to be able to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to spend that. I have a goal. I'm going to save this money. And he says it's Jesus tells us we have to do this each and every day. You may want to go out and get to Dunkin' Donuts, or we talked a lot about those expensive drinks and $6 and $7, $8 drinks, but in order to be able to save and to be better financially off this year, you have to deny yourself. You're going to have to tell yourself no. You're going to have to give yourself more discipline. So, write this scripture down, incorporate it in your finances, put it in. If you decide to do a financial journal, you could put that in there. One thing that I look at, when you get your W-2 and I made X amount of dollars last year. Well, what did I spend it on? Where did all this money that I made, where did it all go? Having this journal, doing a financial journal is an easy way to be able to keep that. And it's a way for you to be able to know where your money is going and where you have spent that money. So you want to be able to write these things down. Now, this may not be an easy task, especially if you are, someone who spends money each and every day. You may be too busy or whatnot. But if you don't, if you miss a day, that's okay. You always can look it up online. Let's look at your statements if you're using your debit card, things like that. If you're purchasing with cash, hold on to those receipts. So you want to be able to do it. Your journal, it could be just like your old-fashioned checkbooks. We used to have, years ago, before we had all this fancy technology and you didn't have it all, you had to keep the record of it in a checkbook. So you want to keep that journal going, and then encourage yourself when you're looking at that. So say, for an example, here we are in January. So, my goal is to save $5,000 this year. Okay. So in January, I have a goal of how much I want to spend. And then I needed to make a plan of what that looks like. So now I got to figure out and say, hey, I'm not going to go do this. I'm going to have to deny myself of something. You know what I mean? I may not be able to go out and, maybe eat out once. You eat dinner out once a week. Maybe you have to deny yourself and say, no, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to cook what I use, what I have in the refrigerator, and be able to save that money that way. Okay. But you have to learn how to tell yourself no. The same way that we do, with other aspects in our lives, is the same way that you have to do with your finances as well. So he says, and he said unto them, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall be saved. How can we incorporate that in our finances? It's very simple. When we go out and spend this money that we shouldn't be spending, when we don't deny ourselves, you can't go get that back. You know what I mean? It's not like you can drink that drink and say, oh, I didn't like it, and you want to go return it and get that money back. So you're actually losing out on what you could be saving. All right. But if you deny yourself and say, no, I'm not going to go out and purchase that drink today. I'm going to make a cup of coffee at home, or I'm going to have that water, or I'm going to have something that I already have. If you deny yourself, what happens? You're doing what the scripture says. You're saving yourself from a loss. Okay. So we're taking the scripture and we're just bringing it over into our financial life. So it's helping you to be able to save more money. So you got to deny. You got to learn how to tell yourself no. Discipline is key to be able to save money, to be able to go forward with the challenge. You just can't go out and do what you want to do, things like that. Because if you do, and if you keep that same mindset, that same money minded that you had over the years in the past, then you'll never get ahead. You'll never move forward. Okay. So you want to learn how to deny yourself so you can save. The same way Jesus was telling us, deny ourselves, take up his cross, follow him. We got to get rid of the sin. We got to get rid of the impulse spending. We got to get rid of the negativity. We got to get rid of the our mindset. We have to change our mindset that we don't deserve to be financially stable, that or here's an even better one, that we won't be able to get out of debt. Oh, that will never happen. That's too hard. Our mind controls a lot of aspects in our life. The Bible, another scripture that just came to my mind is, so a man thinketh, so is he. So if you have these thought processes, then guess what? Then you'll never get ahead. You'll never be able to save. You'll never be able to move forward in your finances. So you have to learn how to deny that mindset too. Change that mind. Give all of that in. Get rid of all of that. Another scripture that just came to my heart was, Lord, created me a new. David asked God, created me a clean heart and renew in me the right spirit. Use that scripture, the same scripture, in your finances. Lord, creating me a clean heart, renewing me a right spirit. Help me to realize that I can be debt free, that I don't have to live check to check, that I can flourish in my finances as well. I can move forward. It is possible for you to do it, but it starts with our train of thought, our mind and mind setting, and it comes with discipline. Okay. So just like I said, just like our spiritual life, we would come to Christ and we're a new creature. Everything is great, hunky dory. We're excited. We want to tell everybody, we've gotten a better and close relationship with God. We save and all these things. And as soon as a test and trial come, a lot of times we want to throw in the towel. We want to quit. It's the same thing with our finances. We want to make sure, okay, that we have that we are denying ourselves, that we are denying that thought process. We're getting it out of our head. We're getting it out of our mind. We're throwing it in the back burner, okay, and saying, no, I'm not thinking this way anymore. I will be prosperous. I will have a better financial year this year. I will be able to save. I'm going to move forward in my finances than where I was last year. So denying ourselves, we want to just make sure that you stick to it and do what Jesus is telling us to do here in all aspects of our lives. Okay, and I do encourage you we've talked about budgets and writing things down and whatnot. I do encourage you, because you will really be surprised on what we spend our money on and how quickly it goes. It adds up. Again, you all know what I do for a living. I work for Burger King. I remember years when I started, meals were $1.99, $2.99 now. They're $15 now. Anywhere between $10 and $15 for a meal at Burger King. And I know groceries are high too, but when you look at it, when you go and buy groceries, you can have leftovers, or you could stretch that budget where you can purchase food and you're making 2 or 3 meals instead of just $15 on that one meal. Okay, so it's discipline. It's denying yourself. Packing a lunch is cheaper than going to a fast food restaurant to eat every day. Okay, denying yourself of that. So these are and with denying yourself comes sacrifices. So when you do, you have to make sacrifices. You may have to get up a little bit earlier, fix yourself lunch so you can bring it with you. If on the weekends, a lot of people, I see a lot of reels and things of people doing meal preps. You may want to plan out your meals for the week and do your meal prep for the week. Bake out your lunches, have out your dinners. Okay, denying yourself, writing that down, making that list out. Okay, today's Friday. I get paid on Friday. I'm going to do this, and this. Oh, I got to add this to my savings. All right, denying yourself of that extra activity that you might want to do and save that little extra money. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time. It's going to take practice. But our goal here this year is to save. Our goal is to save money. Our goal is to be better off financially off this year than we were last year. There's a saying that says, when you know better, you do better. We can learn from our own mistakes. We can, at things that we did and last year, we want to change up. We don't want to continue to do the same thing. I'm reminded of the scripture, should I continue in sin where grace may abound? God forbid. Do you want to continue in debt? God forbid. You have to change your mindset of doing so. And to doing that, you have to deny yourself of some things. We have talked about that as well. Look around the house, see how many things you have. I'm quite sure all of us ladies probably got something in our closet still with the tags on it that we've never worn, a new pocketbook, pair of shoes, whatever the case might be, that's new that we've never worn or that we've never used. Okay, we have that out there. We have these things. So you want to deny yourself of those impulse buying and say, well, I want, and I want, and I want. And make that sacrifice in order for you to save, and whatever your goal is that you are saving for. Okay, so it's Luke chapter 9, and I read verse 23 and 24 about denying ourselves of these impulse spending and disciplining ourselves a little bit more instead of going out. Write yourself a journal. Write down of what you're spending, how much you're spending. Look at where every penny is going. And you'll be really, really surprised on where your money is going. Last year, like I should have been, and I wanted to, and I told myself that, but this year I'm determined to do better. I have a bigger goal to achieve, and I'm determined to achieve that goal. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to deny myself. I have to discipline. You guys know I love purses, and of course it's after season. There was, a whole lot of sales and whatnot going on. But of course, now it's the end of the year sale and all the clearances of the winter line before the spring and summer line come out and whatnot. So all of these things are appealing, and they're appealing to me as well. But I have to deny myself and say, no, Sharon, you don't need that. All right, your goal this year is to save. Your goal is to be better off, because you're looking and working towards retirement. You're looking and working towards being able to continue to travel the way that you do. So to be able to do that, okay, I have to deny myself. I have to tell myself no. All right, I have to be no. Now, with that being said, I don't expect you or I to go the whole year, 365 days, and say, okay, well, I'm not going to treat myself. No, it's okay. What I'm saying is to plan it, to budget it, to give yourself a budget. Okay, so this is how much I'm going to spend on clothing this year. This is how much I'm going to pay or spend on accessories, on entertainment, whatever the case might be. Okay. So we're not saying no, we can't have. It's like, the beginning of the year and everybody's making their resolutions. And of course, eating better is something that comes up when everybody, myself included, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And for me, I have learned that when I deny myself totally or something, that's when I fall. That's when I fail, because I'm cutting all of this completely out, and you try to go cold turkey or and just don't have it anymore or whatnot. And all of a sudden our brain is telling us that you miss that certain item, you miss that food or food group or whatnot, and you go and have it, and then you indulge in it instead of denying yourself in the fact as that you were having it in moderations. So for an example, say if you have a favorite food, and you have this favorite food once a week, or you eat at this favorite restaurant once a week, and you say, oh, I want to eat healthier, I want to do better. So instead of having it once a week, maybe you'll say, all right, I'll do it once every other week. And then that obviously will help with your craving of that, and you're not denying yourself totally of that meal or of that item, whatever that you're trying to get rid of. So it's the same thing with your finances. Please don't cut everything out. Don't say you're not going to purchase, you're not going to buy, because if you do, that's not realistic, and you won't, you probably won't stick to your budget and your savings as that what you want to do. All right. So you want to make sure you do everything that is realistic, that's attainable. You don't want to set, again, with the SMART goals, you don't want to set a goal that you're going to set yourself up to fail, and ask yourself the who, what, when, why, and how questions. And this is the one way of how we're going to get here. Yes, I need to deny myself of it. Yes, I need to stop my impulse spending. Yes, I need to stop stress spending, my retail therapy. But no, I'm not going to just cut myself off and not buy me a new dress or a new pocketbook or a pair of shoes this year. But what I'm actually going to do is write it in my journal, see how I'm doing, and reward myself or stick with my plan on what I have and what I want to accomplish. Okay. So for the last time, I'm going to read it one more time. For tonight's scripture is Luke chapter 9, verse 23 and 24. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall be saved. So just a reminder, you got to deny yourself those impulse spendings, and you are saving. You'll have a better savings. You'll be able to stabilize your finances a little bit better, and hopefully we'll reach our goal. And whatever your goal is, get out of debt, be better financial stable, wherever that might be. All right. Great to see y'all this evening. Lord's will, we'll be back with you next week, next Friday night, for another session of Being Money Minded. God bless, and Lord's will, we'll see you next week.